JFK Airport near crash investigation. The occurrence included an American Airlines 777 that inappropriately crossed a functioning runway at the bustling air terminal. An air traffic regulator brought out over the radio, critically coordinating a Delta Airlines 737 to prevent its departure from a similar runway where the American plane moved across its immediate way. The Delta plane halted inside 1,000 feet of the American flight. One more wellspring of data agents normally go to while figuring out what occurred inside the cockpit of an aircraft episode is the cockpit voice recorder, one of the two supposed secret elements. Agents will actually want to pay attention to the radio transmissions, which have proactively been recorded and safeguarded. The discussions between group individuals that are not communicated over the radio are gotten by the CVR. Those accounts would likewise uncover assuming that the American pilots heard the guidelines totally from the air traffic regulators, and assuming this is the case, how they evidently ended up being befuddled. Yet, that sound may not be accessible in something like one cockpit, Goelz cautioned. Since the American Airlines flight forged ahead to London that night, it is hazy assuming agents approached the accounts before they were overwritten. The NTSB has made a few suggestions to further develop voice recorders, including that the recording length be reached out to 25 hours, something that would have safeguarded the cockpit babble from the American team regardless of whether it wasn't recovered until the flight arrived in London. On the odd chance that the voice records inside the American cockpit are saved, they might portray a nitty-gritty discussion about the airplane's on-the-ground developments. At numerous airlines, the two pilots are engaged with affirming and doing regulators' guidelines to explore runways, as per a pilot who mentioned obscurity as a result of severe standards about addressing columnists. Every carrier has its own methodology, the pilot said. However, those regularly incorporate the pilot helming the radio, perusing back directions given via air traffic regulators, and the pilot guiding the plane in this manner, rehashing those guidelines. The two potential open doors offer a valuable chance to see an error. The pilots would then cooperate, the pilot said, verbally getting down on runway markers, and each actually taking a look at their side of the airplane for any cars moving the opposite direction. Aircraft system might try and call for pilots to turn on extra plane lighting while crossing runways, to some degree to make the plane more apparent to other people. Examinations concerning occurrences like this often start when the control tower sees a blunder and gives the pilots a telephone number to call, the pilot said. In this occurrence, radio accounts showed regulators educated the American pilots to put a call to authorities at the pinnacle to address the conceivable pilot deviation from the relegated course.